Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. October 27th, 2020. Dars highlights. Major themes include read your own book. The Dars began with a commentary on the verse اقرأ كتابك كفى بنفسك اليوم عليك حسيبا. Read your book. On this day your soul suffices as a reckoner against you. From Surah al-Isra. The Shaykh commented on al-Dhanab, the tailbone, which contains the synopsis of the entirety of the human being. It's your original primordial state. It's the only thing that's left in your grave after your body decomposes. كَفَى بِنَفْسِكَ الْيَوْمَ عَلَيْكَ حَسِيبًا. You will take your own self into account. In reality, God won't take you into account. You do yourself, or you take account of your own self by assessing your state against your own book, your primordial original state that's encapsulated by al-Dhanab. The purpose of the Quran and the Sunnah is to remind you and to help you understand and study that primordial book, which is you. And so you take yourself into account before you are taken into account in the hereafter. You do that here and now. If your book is in conformity with that of the Prophet ﷺ, then you are among the felicitous. If it's not, then you have none other than yourself to blame. So you have your own book, which is the original state, the primordial state, and then you have the life that unfolds, what you actually do. And so you have your original book, which is your ideal or your primordial state, and your innate disposition upon which God created you. You have that on the one hand, and you have the book of your life, of your deeds, of your words. And the reckoning, the hisab, is the measuring of the difference between your life, the book of your life and deeds, and your primordial book. And Allah says, كَفَى بِنَفْسِكَ الْيَوْمَ عَلَيْكَ حَسِيبًا. On this day, your soul suffices as a reckoner against you. What is the day here? Al-Yawm. The day here refers to the beautiful death, Husn al-Khatima, a beautiful ending of one's life. In reality, the Prophet ﷺ, he lived one day. He was born on a Monday, and he died on a Monday, and he just lived on a Monday. 12th of Rabi' al-Awwal is his life, because he took himself into account, because he was guided and he was upon the primordial book. He did not alter his deeds. The book of his life was in complete conformity with al-Dhanab, or the primordial book. And others are born on a Monday and die on a Wednesday. They add 2 days, you might say, because they don't have rectitude on their Monday, and so they add other days. How to hold yourself into account? If you may ask the question, the answer is you have to measure your actions against those of the Prophet ﷺ. And Allah says, the ones who are guided to their own souls. The next verse, after read your book, on this day your soul suffices as a reckoner against you. The next verse, 15 of Surah al-Isra, reads, whosoever is rightly guided is only rightly guided to his own soul. فَمَنِ اهْتَدَى فَإِنَّمَا يَهْتَدِي لِنَفْسِهِ. And whosoever is astray is only to the detriment of his own soul, or is only guided astray from his own soul. If you perfect your day, the one day that you have, the day of your dunya, then you will be guided to your own soul. Your soul consists of 7 levels. The soul, the commanding soul, al-Ammara, the lamenting soul, al-Lawama, the soul at peace, al-Mutma'inna, the pleased soul, al-Radiya, al-Mardiya, the pleasing and pleased souls, and al-Kamila, al-Mutma'inna and al-Kamila. These 7 souls. You might say you have the nafs, or the soul of a Sunday, the soul of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 7 days of the week corresponding to 7 souls. And if you fluctuate between the different souls, 1 through 7, you're like the one who goes through his days without knowing who he is, fluctuating in multiplicity. And if you discover your soul, then you will know the single day that you have. You'll know your nafs, your soul, and the one day of your Lord, Yawmun 'inda Rabbik, that up to which you've added so much multiplicity. The Shaykh also commented on this hadith that the Ummah of the Prophet ﷺ has a day and a half. And he explained that in the context of this idea that the Prophet ﷺ lived one day. He says he lived one day and the other half is for the Ummah. And a day is like 1,000 years of your counting and so on. But in this context, he commented, he says it's as though Prophet has one day and the Ummah has half a day. Then the Shaykh emphasized the importance of the Nur. And he said that to witness the Nur is not enough. You have to live it and you have to apply it. And in principle, we don't even need to guide you beyond this point. We don't need to provide you with more guidance and to answer your questions about wayfaring after you see the Nur. The Shaykh says, here's the Nur, you've taken it, now go work, go do the work. So just seeing it doesn't suffice. You have to go do the work once it's been made visible to you. If you think that having seen the Nur suffices, think of Abu Lahab. He saw the Prophet ﷺ. He even shook his hand. And the Prophet says, whoever shakes my hand doesn't enter hell. And the problem is that he saw him and shook his hand, but there was no love, there was no flow, there was no wid between them. And you can't say Abu Lahab is not in hell. In a similar manner, just seeing the Nur doesn't suffice. You have to have a connection and a flow and a stability in the Nur, and you have to live it and apply it. After you take bay'ah, you visit the Shaykh, you visit the Zawiyah, just to remind yourself, you've already taken the Nur. That suffices you. Your visit to the Zawiyah, in a sense, is like a return to your Ajabul Dhanab, to the primordial state. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد.